I thought the intro was great, like your intro of who you are. And I love that you just kind of, I feel like what you do, and probably you don't even necessarily do this on purpose, but you're always pulling in little outside pieces of information to just help them be more educated people in general, and to have what we might think is common knowledge, but like asking them if they know where Romania is and giving them some of that background. And I think that's really valuable. And I think it's funny that you were wearing a Star Wars shirt. I like that.
Yeah.
Because you never know, some kid might be like, oh, hey, he's wearing a Star Wars shirt. I'm going to,
Yeah, that's my connection to American culture. The only, I don't know any other. I mean, well, yeah. Anyway, yeah, sure, yes.
Definitely not the Super Bowl, which is apparently happening right now.
Yeah, I heard about it. I heard.
Yeah.
I don't. What channel is it on? 6?
Yeah,
it's the only channel I don't think I'm getting because I have, rabbit ears. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who knows? I doubt you're missing much. I thought that you had a really matter-of-fact delivery when talking about the racial stereotype, and I really liked that because it showed like you weren't afraid to talk about it, because I think especially maybe we know that sometimes for these kiddos, they're not sure how to talk about it, or and so the fact that you were so just like, hey, this is the deal. The ridiculous idea that Langston Hughes should be the class poet because he has, quote, rhythm, as you said, is risible. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Well, and I actually grew up with that, and it was, the gypsy thing. Romania has a lot of people don't realize, even though I look white, for Western Europeans, I am not considered white. This is just so insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of tells you how insane stereotypes can be.
Yes, absolutely. Can you hear my screaming children in the background?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I live in a small apartment, so my husband is.
Me too.
Okay, I would have him take them outside, but he'd have to go down 3 flights of stairs. So.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, sorry about that.
No. But as I was saying, I found this. I don't know if you heard of Quora. Is this kind of like Reddit new?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And somebody asked, like, are Romanians white? And I was just kind of like, I was floored, but not floored, because I know that some Western Europeans, because of there are a lot of Roma, which is not Romania, it has nothing to do with Romania. Roma just means, it's the politically correct term for gypsy. There would be, after the fall of the Soviet Union, and there was a huge migration that way, and some did behave badly, stole cars or whatever. And it got a lot of press in the Western press, so because they spoke Romanian, everybody associated criminals who were coming from Romania associated with all Romanians.
Right.
So I was like, at the same time, I don't want to claim that I know racism like an African American knows racism, because that's, of course, not true.
No, but it's still it's an entryway into that conversation, and a reminder that lots of people experience varying degrees of it. It's I thought it was good. I liked it.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I was nervous because I was also like, should I say black?
Yeah.
Because the PC word is African American.
Right.
But to me, it's a mouthful, when I'm trying, in the excitement of delivery, I didn't want to trip over my tongue saying African American, all the time, and so I thought maybe that was okay, but.
I think it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, from a teaching perspective, yeah, for sure. And how cool to go to the great effort to include some interesting ancillary materials like that Cotton Club clip. What a great idea.
Yeah, because I wanted to, so part of the standard 4, which I was trying to address in that video, was like, what can I do to diffuse some, false ideas about the jazz era? And I think a lot of people think about the jazz era as this glamorous thing where the blacks were, they were rich and they were, just getting along with the white people like they were their friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what you see. I mean, of course, that's not the whole movie, the clip that I showed. And I don't remember. I remember seeing it a long time ago. But it seems like that kind of movie may be glamorizing, the relationship.
Yes.
And this poem that I gave, it was just like saying it like it was. I mean, like, it was like more real. What blues, like the majority of blues piano players were not like, understood or seen as brothers or best buddies with the white audience, I would think.
No, I think that you're right. And it's like somehow some of the media, it's like, oh, let's make this more palatable to a white audience. Like which audience is the Cotton Club clip created for? And then I think it's cool how that linked into your encouragement that they analyze the speaker and the narrator instead of always assuming, of course, that the poet is being autobiographical. And I think it's so important to think about that perspective. And is the speaker white? Is the speaker black? How does that change the meaning? And I thought that was super cool. I wrote down your questions are a very high level order of thinking, and that the kids are willing to go there with you again. So I think that is, I think it's excellent.
It was hard to teach it because it is a complex poem and it has a lot of questions, and I read some literary criticism. I mean, actually, that's what helped me really deliver this because it was so short notice and it was a lot of questions that I had about it, and I had to look for guidance.
Well, like the thing, I thought it was fascinating what you were sharing about how meaningful the name of the street was and what that meant, how they were coming down from, what did you say, the lower numbers?
From Lower Manhattan. Yeah. I know it's kind of counterintuitive that because Manhattan is lower than Harlem.
Yeah.
But this scholar who, much more versed in this field, in this area of literature, was saying that this was implying that somebody was coming down. It was not a native of Harlem, was coming down to see a black piano player down to Lenox from the white, more privileged area.
Yeah, I have to admit, I've read that poem before at some point in my life, but I never had heard that, and I had never made that connection, and it really gives me a totally different perspective on that poem, and I think that was really effective. And the whole time I was viewing it, I was thinking, like, man, this is a tough lesson as a teacher to present. Like, I was like, man, he's brave. But in a good way. Like, I admire what you did there. And then the fact that you had, practically no notice at all makes it even more impressive. And again, you had some great built-in participation. I wish you had not got cut off at the end.
Yeah, I wish I had more time. Definitely. That was one of the things that I was